What up, YouTube? It's Dave Medic One. I have another knife review for you today, and it's on a much anticipated knife. I've been waiting to get this for a while. I was gonna jump on it as soon as it came out, but finances were not in order, so I had to sit back and wait. And they're a little hard to come by, and you know, which is to be expected with the name behind it and whatnot. The review I'm gonna have for you today is on the Kershaw Cryo. You guys see there? Pretty cool. Awesome. You know, kudos to Kershaw for the collaboration on with Rick Hinderer on this design. Definitely finding ways to kind of capture the edge and nip at the heels at the other knife manufacturers as far as making knives that are very desired and affordable. Got to give them props on that. Let's go ahead and run through some stats here. Let me see here. The Kershaw Cryo blade steel's HCR 13 MOV. Let me see here. It is a hollow ground with a swedge up top, titanium carbonitride coating on there, and blade length is 2 3/4 inches. The overall length of this guy is 6.5 inches. It is a frame lock. It's a stainless steel handles and frame lock with the same titanium carbonitride coating. Black hardware, which really makes the titanium coating pop. It's got the frame lock stop, which is pretty much a staple in Rick Hinderer's design. The blade shape and everything is just, you know, it screams Hinderer all over the place. A really nice knife. This knife came nice and centered. I would say the lockup is probably around, I'd say 40%. Could be a little better, but you know, it's still acceptable. Black standoffs, hollow frame frame construction there. Really cool knife. Speed of deployment, just like your other all your other Kershaws. It's got the same that speed safe. Not bad. As far as weight, it's a little on the heavy side for its size, but not too bad at all. Mild jimping on the top here that goes from the handle into the blade, and there's jimping here at the bottom, here at the handle. Would have been nice to have it continue on around the back, but not a big deal, not a deal breaker. Really cool knife, very inexpensive. You could pick this knife up anywhere between 30 to 40 bucks, which makes it, you know, which probably adds to its popularity for sure, and the reason why they're hard to come by and why people will buy them and then throw them on eBay for 45 bucks and still be able to sell and make a couple bucks off them. So yeah, not bad. Pocket clip is tip up, tip down, left, right carry. So there's a lot of options there. There is a cool thing is they have a hollowed out standoff in the back for a lanyard hole, which is pretty cool. Another added touch there. Really nice. Pretty happy that I got the knife. One of the main reasons that I got the knife, besides the fact that it was a Hinderer collaboration, is the fact that I wanted to do some comparisons to knives that are similar in similar category as this knife is. One of the other ones, which is a review I did recently, and have done a couple videos on this. One video being the actual review, another one a video response to Muddy Desire, is the CRKT Drifter, sharing similar characteristics. It having the a titanium coating on the frame lock, and it being a frame lock, which are probably the only two things that are similar to these knives. Of course, it is a CRKT, and you know, they have their own blade shape and handle design, but I thought these two would be fun to be compared against. And also the ESOG Twitch, because it is assisted opening knife, and the fact that I've been EDCing this and trying to see which I like the best out of all three and kind of put them head to head. So yeah, that's one of the things I had in mind in the future, kind of compare them all as far as, you know, all the features, you know, bang for the buck and all that good stuff. So definitely something to that I'm interested into getting into as far as that in the future. Another thing too is I wanted to go ahead and give a size comparison, because the one thing I have heard about this knife is people have been upset that because of the size, they would love it to be bigger. And Kershaw's been listening because they are going to come out with a Cryo 2, which is going to be 1 inch, and I think it's going to be 1 inch and, let me make sure before I got make sure I got all my information correct. It's going to be 1.25 inches bigger than this, so it should add a little length to it and kind of make some folks happy, and pretty much capitalize on the Hinderer name and put a couple more bucks in their pocket. Well deserved though, because it's a really cool design. I imagine that knife to be around the $40 range, if I were to take a guess at that. Like I said, between $30 to $35. Not a bad knife. Pretty much worth it. As far as the size comparison goes, I think it would be pretty much close to a Ambitious, as you can see there. Maybe more so the Persistence. Actually, Persistent, it's funny because the Persistence is a little bigger and the Ambitious is a little smaller. As far as price goes, I think for the money that you would spend on the Kershaw Hinderer, you could get the Ambitious. I think the Persistence is a little more. If you shop, you may be able to get it to the same price. But as far as comparison, bang for the buck or whatever, I think that most of us would probably hop on getting the Kershaw just because of the Hinderer name. It's going to be speed assisted. Frame lock. A lot of people are liking the frame locks more than the liner locks. Of course, that is personal preference. I kind of can go either way depending on the design. But yeah, it's a couple things to think over. It kind of, I'm hoping that a lot of these other knife manufacturers are taking hints from Kershaw as far as doing a low budget or not a price point collaboration with these custom knife makers, because it makes sense. They can make money doing that. They're very popular, and most of us don't have the money to spend anywhere from the $200 to $800 range for these customs, and it gives us an opportunity to experience some of these custom knife makers' designs firsthand, without having to go to through the Chinese market to get these knockoffs. Now, if you're pissed off that a lot of these Chinese manufacturers are making copies of your knife, even putting your name on it and just making flat-out rip-offs, then go ahead and you can go ahead and kick their butts by going ahead and producing something that is affordable and the real deal, and go ahead and keep them from doing that. I mean, so yeah, and the sad thing about it is not that many knife manufacturers are taking part in doing that. I mean, CRKT does it, but their knives, they're a little bit, they do it, but their collaboration knives are a little bit more expensive, but well worth the money. I mean, for sure, I own a couple of them. Kershaw's always done it. Another thing is Boker's done it too, and actually and one thing I do want to get over, and I don't want to make these videos long, but there's a lot of points that I like to bring up when I do these reviews to kind of bring things like, food for thought, whatever, is that one of the best deals you'll ever be able to get, and the closest thing you'll be able to get to getting a custom knife without having to spend all the crazy money, is these collaborations. And 9 times out of 10, they're, you get your money's worth, you get a really good knife, and, they hold their value, and they definitely, they become almost always a permanent part of my collection anyway. Another example of this, and the reason why I have this out, is the Boker Sniper Blade Works collaboration. This knife is a $55 knife, and it just screams freaking cool. It may not be everybody's, not too many people may like this blade design, but I love it. And that's one of the reasons why I picked this up and why I highly recommend this knife. Now, a lot of people get scared with Boker's consistency, continuity as far as the quality control goes, but I've been really lucky, in the past, and they do have warranty, and they do stand by it. So if that's an issue, I mean, I know it may be a pain in the ass to send a knife back, but they'll take care of their stuff. But like I said, $51 to get a sniper, an idea, or you know, a piece of Sniper Blade Works, as opposed to if you go through Sniper Blade Works, you're going to be spending anywhere from $400 to $800 on one of their custom knives. This way you can kind of figure it and be like, hey, you know what? I may go ahead and save for a year or for 6 months to get the knife because I'm in so, because this thing is so nice. I'm going to go ahead and spend the money or wait or save my money to get, to move into ZTs or to actually get a custom Hinderer, It's just, you got a taste of it. You're like, I really like this knife, but now I really want, it's making me want the real deal. So one thing is I wish Spyderco would do that more often. They do collaborations. They're a little on the high side, but if some of these knife manufacturers go ahead and do a price point or a price point version of a collaboration, I think it'll bring a lot of attention back to their brand. Spyderco will always be Spyderco. People always love Spydercos. There's people just collect Spydercos. They've been around for a long time. You can't mess with Spyderco. They make good stuff, and I like them, but I have yet to spend over $50 on a Spyderco, just because I'm finding when I do have that money that I'm finding my interests going elsewhere. I don't know. I love the Manix. I wanted to get the Manix 2 XL, the Sage, or not the Sage, but the Cali 3.5. I'm looking at that right now. But it just seems when I do have the money to do that, I go elsewhere. So, like I said, I hate to spin off on a rant, but the reason I did is because I think the best bang for your buck always goes with these low budget price point collaborations, and this is one of them. So, with this, the Cryo, and then soon to be the Cryo 2, not a bad idea. As far as Kershaw's concerned, as far as coming together with a low budget collaboration, and not a bad idea to pick it up. It's worth the money. I mean, $30 for this or $30 for this, to each their own. I know people are diehard Spyderco fans, but and I am too. I love this. This is my favorite. This is one of my favorite Spyderco, or if not the favorite Spyderco blade shape. I own every one of these. The ambitious, the persistence, the tenacious, the resilience. I own them all. I love that blade shape. I don't find the paramilitary. I probably won't ever buy a paramilitary for the fact that I don't like that blade shape. I like the Cali 3.5. I love that blade shape because it's reminiscent to this. The Manix handle design appeals to me, and that's why I would go with the Manix XL. The Sage, reminiscent to that. The Super Leaf, those are the kind of stuff I'm geared to. But like I said, $30 for this, $30 for that. To each their own. Just throwing it out there. Sorry about the rant. But like I said, when I go and do these knife reviews, especially something like this, the review on the Cryo and what's out there, I definitely want to get into that and touch base with that. Give you guys pretty much my opinion, food for thought, whatever. So, guys, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch the video. New subscribers, thank you so much. Peace.